Worship Live, and we are live here in Clearwater, Florida this Wednesday evening. And we have a very interesting guest who will be with us not only this hour but into the next hour, and I'm just hoping that will be enough time to really get into the subject of the evening, and that is Christians and litigation. Should Christians sue other Christians? Should Christians sue other institutions? What is the Christian perspective on legal matters? We have with us today J. Warren Niskern, and although it's spelled with a K, that's a silent K, right?
That's right, just to throw you off, Jim.
Okay. And Warren, you're a prolific writer here. You not only have a new book coming out called Courting Disaster, a subtitle, What Runaway Litigation is Costing You and What Can Be Done to Stop the Fallout, but you have a book that's now a couple of years old, When the Vow Breaks.
Actually, it's about a year and a half out. Mm-hmm. Yes, came out in December of '93.
Well, let's put that picture up while you're talking about it. And how is that book done?
It's done very well. Mm-hmm. We were fortunate that the book was a Gold Medallion Award finalist with the Christian Booksellers Association, but the most important thing, Jim, is that it's a ministry to people that are hurting so much because of separation and divorce, and really not getting the guidance from a lot of secular books on how to handle a situation like that scripturally and lovingly.
Is this a handbook on divorce? Christian handbook on divorce?
It's not a book that promotes divorce. I want to make that very clear, but it is a book that will help encourage people through a very difficult time, help them to understand what's going on, give them suggestions, practical suggestions on how to deal with a divorce situation.
What prompted you to write it?
Well, actually, I had always wanted to write, but, and this is not the first book I would have written, but I went through a divorce myself. It was unwanted and came as a bit of a surprise. My wife left in 1989, and I learned so much of going through that process of separation and divorce that I wanted to share it with other people that I felt could benefit from what I had learned. So before I forgot it, just after the divorce was over in August of I guess that would be 1991, I took 2 years to write the book and put it out there.
Well, we should say at the outset, you are an attorney. You're a practicing attorney in Coral Gables.
Yes.
And if it was traumatic for you, how much more so for people with no legal background?
Well, that's true. It can be a very bewildering process. I've been a Christian attorney for 20 years, and I've done civil, I've done criminal, I've been a defendant in a lawsuit. I've never been a plaintiff. I hope I don't have to be a plaintiff. But I've seen all sides of it, and I think that gave me a little special empathy to people that are going through a tough time, because I can understand the legal side, but also can understand what it's like to be on the receiving end of an unwanted divorce.
Although we're going to be discussing your newest book probably more in depth, what is the fundamental premise or presupposition of this book? That should Christian divorces be held in a secular courtroom? Should they follow secular procedures?
Well, there's quite a bridge between the two books. Mm-hmm. I think that a Christian who's facing a divorce, one of the biggest mistakes people make, I should say, is to run and get an attorney and put an attorney in the middle. Many times it can be a non-Christian attorney who will not understand the scriptural ramifications of what's going on. That, I'm telling you, as a Christian attorney, may not be the best thing. I think the best way to work out a situation where the marriage is breaking apart and there's no way to save it is to engage in damage control through mediation, preferably in the church. 1 Corinthians 6, and we'll be talking about that tonight, talks about how Christians need to resolve disputes among themselves in the church instead of going to courts of law.
There are those hardliners who say Christians shouldn't divorce, period, that Christ had some very strong statements on the subject of divorce.
Right.
Is that a very practical thing in today's society when we see 1 out of every 2 marriages failing?
I think it's a reality. We have to deal with the situation as it comes up. And sometimes marriages can get where people are like 2 cats in a bag, and there's got to be some way to vent it. It's unfortunate. It's not something that I wanted. I certainly married with the idea that I would be married forever, as long as I would live. But it comes up. Some people express it that It takes three to make a marriage, being the husband and the wife and the Lord, and only one to break it and make it so the relationship is not going to work. So you just have to take it as it comes.
On a more personal level, was it therapeutic to you to write the book? I mean, was it a catharsis to finally unburden yourself with some of the things you had been through?
Jim, you've asked the question that I think I've been asked more than anything else. Was it a catharsis? And my response has been that it took 2 years of my life to put that book together, and there was a lot of love and concern that went in the book. It was a lot of hard work. I'd rather watch a Florida Gators football game than do something like that. But
and hopefully one of which the Gators prevail.
That's right. Well, I think they'll do pretty well this year. But it was a ministry, and the thing that kept me moving forward was to share with other people who are hurting and really need the help and encouragement and practical advice on how to get through very tough situations. And I mean, it runs the whole gamut from the time you first are aware that there's a problem in the marriage and how a marriage breaks down, all the way through the legal process, through mediation, to moving on and letting go if the marriage can't be saved, if the reconciliation can't occur.
Can Christian mediation deal with every issue that is going to come up in a divorce? Many of them involve huge sums of money. You have child custody issues, property issues. Can Christian mediation handle all the complexities of a divorce?
Well, huge sums of money didn't come up in my mediation, but I think mediation can handle any sort of issue like that. And really, that is the best forum to resolve issues like that, because the attorneys are going to start running up the fees. My advice to people that are going through a tough situation is to get legal advice, definitely, but keep the attorneys on the sideline and work in cooperation in mediation to resolve the legal issues as quickly and as inexpensively as possible.
We're going to take a break and go to another one of our videos, but I would like to remind you of the number. We're going to open the phone lines here in a few minutes, 813-523-9020. And we don't particularly want you to pick Warren's brain about a particular legal issue, but if in a broad sense you want to comment on some of the things we're talking about tonight, some of the trends in our society, or share with our viewers a painful situation that you went through, how mediation worked for you, how the lawyers didn't work for you, something along that line, we'd be interested to hear from you. And that's that number again, 813-523-9020. But let's take a break now, reflect on the goodness of God, and look at some scenes from God's wonderful creation from the Pennsylvania area. Next is Warren Niskern. He's an attorney from Coral Gables, which is in the Miami vicinity.
That's right.
And how long have you been in practice down there, Warren?
20 years.
Great.
Yeah, been a while.
Tell me just a little bit about your Christian faith. Are you almost lifelong Christian or longtime Christian? Or?
Well, I grew up going to a lot of churches, but I don't feel like I ever made a commitment to Christ until just before, it was actually a week before I graduated from the University of Florida Law School. And that, I will say, had nothing to do with my decision. But I really became convinced that I really needed to get right with the Lord. And so I read the Bible. I sat down and read it through and went to Bible studies and talked with a lot of folks, and came to the conviction that I really needed to be right with the Lord. Mm-hmm. And so I made a commitment to believe and obey the Bible. I was baptized into Christ, and I'll tell you, my life has never been the same since, and I've never regretted the decision that I made 20 years ago. Warren,
let me show those who may have joined us the two books that we're talking about this evening. This one's been out a little over a year, When the Vow Breaks, and it is a biblical perspective on the subject of divorce. And that was a gold medallion winner, which
a gold medallion award finalist.
Finalist.
Yeah, there were 5 finalists in the category of Christianity and Society. Chuck Colson's book was the one that actually won.
And for the first time, let's talk about the book that is just coming out another week or so.
Next week, right.
Courting Disaster. And how does this differentiate from your first book?
Well, the first book, When the Vow Breaks, dealt with people that are going through a divorce, separation or divorce, and runs through all of the practical matters that come up with that. Courting Disaster has a much broader focus in talking about how we're litigating ourselves to death in this country. It's not just from a Christian focus, but just all across the board. I show how divorce litigation is really ruining our country in terms of the flow of cases. In the last 10 years, divorce litigation has accounted for a 60% increase. Right now, nationally, a third of all the cases in the courts are divorce litigation.
Warren, I'll just have you hang on that thought for just a moment. We've got to take a break for our affiliated stations, and we'll be back with more of Warren's comments and his books and litigation in today's society and a Christian perspective toward it. So please stay with us here on Worship Live.